I got a patron request from Eric to review Who Killed Captain Alex, a very low-budget Ugandan film that has received a lot of attention for the chutzpah of the filmmakers as they use the resources available to put this together. The film is made as an homage to the big explosive action movies that the director Nabwana i.g.g. enjoyed watching. I've not really delved into Ugandan cinema, so I did not know what to expect when putting this on. I admit I admire what was put into making the movie more so than the story being told. You need to watch this with the knowledge that was made with very little money and with the locations and people available. Nabwana wanted to bring everyone in his community together to bring his vision to life and make something hopefully fun and entertaining, armed only with cameras, props, and editing software. The plot involving a fight between soldiers and a criminal organization does not really matter, as it's more an excuse to string together a bunch of action scenes, which range from gun battles to martial arts. Although the story could be read as a comment on the violence happening in Uganda. Nabwana himself has talked about how the wars in Uganda inspired his movies and why he made sure to include a helicopter as they were often used in those conflicts. Watching the beginning of Who Killed Captain Alex, it seemed like it would be something really crazy, but those scenes mainly happen at the start and end of the movie. A large chunk of the movie mostly involves characters sitting around and talking as they try to figure out how to resolve the problems in their town. And this is where the film fell flat for me, as I did not find myself that invested in what they were saying or the individual characters. It only runs about 70 minutes, but that middle portion did drag for me. However, like I said, the movie picks up at the climax when it goes full-on crazy action scene. Throughout the film, there's a running commentary of someone known as the Video Joker making remarks and jokes over the footage. I was confused about this and wondered if I was watching the wrong version, but this is actually intentional. I later read that in Uganda, international films are translated through video jockeys who often make commentary and humorous remarks over the movie, and this is apparently very popular. So learning that, I now understand why there's this voiceover, and I did admittedly get used to it after a while. Some of the jokes at the end even got a chuckle out of me. Another interesting thing that stood out to me was the use of pre-existing music, which I have a hunch they did not get a license for. We hear MIDI versions of Seal's Kiss from a Rose, which was famously featured on the Batman Forever soundtrack, as well as ABBA music. I watched Who Killed Captain Alex on Tubi, so I assume they eventually got permission to use them. In any case, it is amusing hearing these familiar tunes on the soundtrack, and their usage seems to come from a genuine love for these songs. It can also be seen as an homage to Hollywood movies occasionally using licensed songs to enhance the action sequences, with Quentin Tarantino being a notable example. What also stood out to me is how the filmmakers used the locations they had, whether it was their own houses or other buildings scattered throughout their town. I'm sure for people who live there, it's fun seeing these familiar places in the movie, and then for the rest of us who have never been to Uganda, it gives us an idea of their homes. There's even a certain universality as the film shows them enjoying watching television or going out to the local eating establishment. Nabwana also uses his imagination to take someone's garden nearby and make that the setting for a major war scene in the forest. And well, let's just say I can relate to taking a simple garden and make it seem like another location. Honestly, even with the overall obvious cheapness of the production, the nonsensical nature of the thin plot, and simple dialogue and characterizations, should we really haul that against the movie? Because Who Killed Captain Alex is oozing with passion. What I found especially nice was in the end, when we get a bunch of behind-the-scenes shots of the making of the film. What was shown is the community coming together to help Nabwana create this movie and have some fun doing it. I wonder if anyone has considered making a movie about the making of Who Killed Captain Alex. I imagine the tone would be sort of like Ed Wood and Be Kind Rewind, depicting a group of people coming together to make a movie, feeling a sense of accomplishment, and excited to see what people think of what they've made. I think it could end up a sweet, heartwarming film if done properly. As for Who Killed Captain Alex, doesn't have problems, sure, and I do wish I got more entertainment value out of it, but that does not make the actual production, enthusiasm, and genuine joy of the people who made it any less special. Now, if you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for the request, Eric.